Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Call of Duty World Championships Day 1. We got a ton of pool play games to get through. And up next, if I'm going to be honest, should be a relatively smooth sailing one in many people's predictions.
Disagree with that. It's
wrong.
Luminosity versus Singularity. We've already seen a couple tight games. We just casted a game 5. We saw Fuego beat Gen G. And this team that we're playing, Singularity, on the year, they have a top 12 at Fort Worth. It was top 8 at London, and then they finished off with a top 6 at Miami. We've seen improvement. It's the same core 4 men on the roster. Kleenex is the new guy. And it's going to be very strange saying Kleenex repeatedly throughout this series, but we'll deal with that as we go along. But they've been one of the most consistent open bracket teams we've had in the past couple months. Sure. They've shown signs of improvement. Okay. I see no reason to count them out on the outset. I see zero reason to do that.
I do. And the reason behind that, and I'm going to sound like Maven, is formal at Call of Duty World Championships.
That's fair. That's a great point.
Yeah, it's funny. Someone actually tweeted me earlier on today, and they said, "Oh, I would like your honest opinions on LG." And honestly, I said, "Well, they're a team which I don't think are going to win the Call of Duty World Championship, but they could win the Call of Duty World Championship." And formal is a big part of that. It seems this event, you always seem to get kind of the best out of them in recent years. I mean, you look at a player like Rack, for example, Skies, this is an LG team who we hyped up quite a lot, to be completely honest with you. And well, maybe they are the dark horse of this event, Chance. Maybe.
And this, in my mind, is probably what is most likely you're going to learn from the series of what kind of LG are they ready to play. Because honestly, in my mind, I want to see them just get the 3-0, get out of the way as quick as possible, not waste any energy, any effort. Don't make mistakes, just nice and clean. Because LG needs to be at their best. You got to play the best Call of Duty at the end of the year. Right now, they got 5 men going on the full flank, and rotation's quick. They got a nice little lead. They need to pick up some kills, though, and you see Slack, while leading the charge, has the damage up top, and while he falls, Formal was able to pick up a couple, and because they got the back spawns, eventually they'll get control of the hill.
Good start for LG so far. One of which is actually Formal. 5 in the start, Skies 5-3. On the other side, Contain. Not a bad start from him either, to be fair to him. 5-4. The problem is he just needs a little bit higher input from the rest of his teammates. A couple of 1-4s, 2-4s across the board. LG will have around about a 60-point lead as approaching towards P3. Singularity ready and waiting on the rotation.
Next with a nice kill, but at the same time, LG are there for the trades. LG was basically just trying to cause as many problems on the flank as they can. It's going to be John that's still trying to do so while he's waiting for his teammates to come help him out, but while he makes the move in, he does get made short work of, and well, that means LG, they're going to have to do it from the front. Can they get that aggression? Well, Slack shut down early as Fitz is able to find 2 kills, and finally, Singularity able to take a nice little breath, get a little bit of time on board.
Let's kind of talk big picture here for LG. If they are to go on a run here at the World Championship, is there a specific game mode you look at as maybe one of their weaker that you think they need to be consistent at, maybe trying to steal a couple of to win the World Championship?
I'm going to alter that question a little bit, and instead of saying they're weak at hardpoint, they have a really good record, but they're like 7-2 on frequency. Okay. And so I think they're a team that they have shown quite a bit of strength in the past couple weeks, from the final weeks of the Pro League, from Miami. Like, they look solid, but now teams have learned, okay, well, here's what we're going to start banning against them. We're not going to let all these frequencies through. And so that means LG, yes, they've looked like a great hardpoint team, but they're going to have to show life on other maps, like Arsenal, for example, where at the moment, 20-point lead, but it looks like it's going to dissipate a little bit quickly. Singularity, they win that rotation, they get that gun control.
Stabilized a little bit. It was a very slow, sloppy start from Singularity, and they're actually about to take the lead. They've slayed out very well. LG spawning out. There it is. Change. Advantage Singularity. 25 seconds still to go on this hard point. As it stands, it is LG with favorable spawn on the rotation. Or is it actually only one player spawned in, but there it is. 9, that's going to be Brack. Still love to try and contest this time, and more importantly, you can't give Kez a streak here.
Streaks at all, but I will say that is a bit mismanaged, right? You have Singularity in a great spot. They had a massive hold on the hill, but then they just don't end up focusing on the spawns like too well. They put a little bit too much pressure on the hill, but at the same time, if you're pouring on the pressure on point and giving up spawns, you got to make sure you get streaks off of it. And Kleenex, I would want him to reload both guns. Of course, he's got the Maddox. He's got a little help to find John as well, and he's just trying to play his life as much as possible. possible. Done very well, 50 off his streaks, and he's got the grab slam. If he can get close to the hill, which
don't know about that,
he just goes for it.
Okay, maybe a little overzealous there, but he will fall, no streaks earned, but as we said, does have the grab slam. Bids, on the other hand, though, was actually able to earn himself a lightning strike, and what looked like it was going to be a bit of a walk in the park for LG, maybe becoming a little problematic here. And Singularity taking the fight to LG.
I will say, though, Singularity, that is going to be a very big mismanage of just trying to get that grab slam in. That might be a mistake that comes back to haunt him, because you have all of the options in the world. Take your time, bait out your teammates, and again, he just goes for that instantaneous commitment with not too much information. So no streaks for him, just the lightning strike in the back pocket, but first set of rotations is in, and then it's a little bit closer than you might have thought.
Just a tad. Yeah, Detain has pulled out his War Machine as well. He's going to find a big hole towards Formal. So Singularity will have hill control of P1 in the second rotation. So he might be able to have a big chunk of time here. Detain finds one. The trades will come through. As it shuts down Formal. Tac 5 has been earned. Go ahead and invest that one straight away. Try to give yourself as big of a cushion as possible here on P1.
So far, so good. Again, the Tac 5 is going to be nice to have in the back pocket. Vic has already been cut off, man. It's the second gunfight. It's the Tac 5 that comes through to make it easy to get your own trades. And, of course, he comes back in and finds the third as well. This has been first hill dominant. Bits hanging out inside. And then, I told you, they're a good team. They got a 30-point lead. You got a lightning strike for, if not this hill, the next one. And, of course, they got a couple specialists as well.
Not going to believe just yet. Wait and see. For me, the investment of the grab slam is going to be really a key indication as to whether Singularity are even going to be able to win map number 1. So far, the rotation is good. Spawn control is good. Tempest is out there. You've got to connect with a couple of those shots. Slack goes down. He's going to be cleaned up. That's going to chain on towards Formal. However, still pressure coming through, but if Bids is shooting like that, oh, Lord LG, you could be in trouble.
Might very well be a 40-point lead. The Tempest is at least going to chain, so he doesn't get the streaks, and actually Kleenex gets a little baited, but the chains are going back and forth. Finally, the cleanup crew is there.
Oh, it's
Detain finds 2. Already a 50-point lead. That might simply just get extended. And keep in mind, LG, if they win the rotation, you're going to have to deal with the lightning strike. If you lose the rotation, it gets even worse. He maybe could go for the grab, but it seems like enough players get wiped out. And that is a very big 20 seconds for LG to pick up, because that is just a lifeline for the team.
And Bids, yes, he went to try and fall in the lightning strike, but 2 players made their way through window. So, unfortunately for him, he will fall. Kleenex still with the grab slam, still hasn't pulled.
Okay.
I'm just going to say that was the absolute worst use you could have had, considering how long he's held that for. Yeah, that is not the best, but Singularity are still in the hill, and they are getting their time.
Yeah, I mean, these are just small moments for Singularity. If they fix those, honestly, the game is even bigger of a lead in their favor. They're having some very bad grapples, a bad grab slam attempt, and at the same time, 60-point lead.
4,000. Has done well to stay alive. He makes a challenge, he does! Wonderful fight, Formal drops, and now LG are all down. Again, a series which, for many people, myself included, you would have thought would have been a very simple walk in the park for LG. Singularity saying, no, no, no. Welcome to COD Champs. Upsets happen. And they've put themselves in a great position in map number 1. I mean, you'd assume they close this out, and then what's next for LG?
Next for LG, they're going to have to go back to the drawing boards and make sure they don't overlook the opposition. That may be an issue that happened in Gen G. You just expect to win the game. How much effort do you really put into preparing for the squad? And if you don't prepare, look at what might just happen to you. 236 to 157. The gun hill was dominated last time around by Singularity, and they're going to be good as well. Slack maybe makes a big play, but Kleenex finally is able to get the grab slam off. Shuts down Slack. GG's in the chat. Singularity with a very strong game number 1.
COD Champs 2018 was pretty eventful. COD Champs 2019, what, 3rd series of the day? Pretty eventful. So far already a couple of upsets based off seeds, a couple of big upsets. Obviously talking about Gen G, and I mean, yes, we're only 1 map in. That didn't look good from LG. It looked great off the start, but then everything crumbled.
I tried to tell you. Like,
Yeah, but I
how
thought you
many
were just trying
different
to build a
teams, even in the
storyline.
Pro League, have made so many roster changes? How many teams here have been playing together for 2 months? This has been a team that, again, yes, they had roster changes, but for the better part of since Fort Worth.
Sure.
So more than half of the year, at
I'll
least
concede
4
that, yeah.
of these guys have been together. Kleenex, the new man on the, well, new-ish man on the squad. But still, the number of weird teams that have been sort of just thrown into a washing machine and spit out. And this is a team who, playing with the core 4, have gotten better at every single tournament, from a top 12 to a top 8 to a top 6. They've shown signs of improvement. They've stuck together. We're only 1 map win. And maybe LG. LG is definitely the stronger team. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm not selling you the story of Singularity winning the entire event, but there's a lot of teams here that are scary, that can pull off some crazy upsets. If it's happening with Fuego against Gen G, it could very well happen with just about anybody. It happened with Singularity versus LG. It can happen.
I think the point is, team chemistry overwhelming, some roster changes, which maybe we don't even necessarily agree with, but Singularity take map 1. I mean, here's a look at the groups which are currently in play. It's going to be the top side of your screens, Group E and F. UYU already a 3-0 over Vanity, so they top the table. And if Singularity is able to somehow claw out a victory here, whew. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting rest of the day and start to tomorrow.
It's going to be very interesting today. And I mean, keep in mind for the storylines, at least for these 2 particular teams, for like LG, we're kind of saying, if you're asking what's their weakest game mode, I was like, well, hardpoint's one of their strongest, but there's the caveat if they've been able to play a ton of frequency. They have, again, I believe it's a 7-2 record. Other than that, I mean, they've definitely been solid, but not nearly as dominant hardpoint. Now you get flipped over to an Arsenal where, yeah, the first 2 hills for LG look great, but then Singularity, honestly, we were talking about the mistakes they were making, which they were, and then they still win by that much.
Yeah, that's a rough start to cut Cheps there for LG. Definitely not filling the Luminosity fans with confidence after map number 1, but there is still plenty to play in the series. It's not over after just 1 map. We'll head over to a Search and Destroy up next. And of course, the Control. Do you know the map for Game 2?
Going to Payload. We are going to Payload.
Interesting. I feel like we haven't seen that in quite some time.
And of course, this is an interesting thing where LG, I don't believe they've played a ton of Payload, but still, you're going to have more, research at your disposal for those teams.
I'm glad you
How much can you really look at Singularity? Like, do you really think LG even knows who the sniper on their team is?
No.
Right.
Absolutely not. On the flip side, if you're player on Singularity, you have so many VOD you can watch on LG. You should know everything they're going to do. You know what their strongest maps are from the Pro League. You look at the last event, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have a ton of information at your fingertips. On the flip side, you probably don't have that much at all.
And again, that is a very small part. It's not like Payload is an incredibly complicated map. There's a couple sniper lanes, general teams to look for, but it does help. If you know there's certain player tendencies where Formal likes to play really passive watching the flank or this and that, you can build small little strategies around it, so it helps. It is tiny little things you could try to gain for the team. So Singularity, they got the ball rolling. They had a fantastic map number 1, completely outslayed the opposition. If they go 2-0,
you have to snowball it. Yeah.
Oh boy.
You have to snowball it. To your point, you got the ball rolling. Great. You won map 1. But snowball it. Put the pressure onto LG. You go 2-0 up. Then it's more about you not choking than the other team clutching up.
And think about not even just at like Champs, for example, but pick any tournament. There's always that one team who's supposed to be one of the best teams in the game where they just get caught early. Like Hunter Thieves just caught out super early back at Miami. Optic used to have a thing when they were the most dominant dynasty we've ever seen. But Friday, sometimes they struggle. Sometimes the best teams, it takes them a second to wake up just a little bit. They can get caught.
The difference is like in a format where if you finish bottom 2 in your pool, it's like it's a 3-piece, you're out. There is no, it's what happened to Optic Gaming last year, right? You cannot start slow at the biggest event of the year. Yes, it's a trait which, some teams do have, but you just can't have it here. Plain and simple. And it's round number 1. Slack took over. He found 3. He's going to find number 4. At least tag up in sight. Hunting him down. So he's going to find... Okay. I respect the effort. Sometimes you just have to go for a nasty shot, but either way, LG take round 1.
And I believe Slack was probably able to get an EKIA on that man towards the end. So maybe on the 4 spree a little bit, getting some score streaks and a nice spot coming out as well. You can actually see at the very bottom left corner on the left side of whatever that blue thing is. I honestly have no idea what you call it, but you can see the footsteps coming through. You can see the shadows. Slack played off the information and honestly just had some pretty easy kills going his way, and now just 450 off of some streaks, which is pretty far, but it's something.
It's a great first round, though. Yep, 3 kills, the majority go his way. As LG go back onto, well, for the first time on the attacking side. 2-for-1 trade off the start. It's going to be in favor of Singularity, and could actually open up one of the bomb sites for LG. If they quickly rotate over towards A, they would have had just one player over there for Singularity. Not going to be the case, though. When they do, it's just a little late.
Operation Bait for Slack in full effect. Formal's the man leading the charge with Singularity spread across the map. It's just the information game they're playing with. Identify where Slack is. Make sure you kill him. The nade doesn't even land in the back, so that player was never at real fear. Slack, again, a little bit scared to even try to get this bomb down. He just wants this lightning strike.
Yeah, they've been rotating through the map very quickly, but you're on a man disadvantage. It's a bit scary to try and put the bomb down, but finally there's an opening and Slack's going to take advantage of it. Bomb will be planted. Oh, anything else for Slack is a massive bonus. Unfortunately for him, he falls. The trade comes through, 3v2. Still advantage Singularity, but Formal wins his 1v1 against Insight, makes it a 2v2. Now it's looking good for LG, but the stun comes through. Formal's there to assist. Phoenix is going to drop 1v2 all down to Keza.
Those players being stunned just makes that so much easier. You feel confident challenging the gunfights. Now you can just play in corners and played perfectly towards the end. You get Brack up on the stairs, so Keza has to fly out to challenge him, and a free kill for Formo to shoot the man in the back. A very nice 3v4 where, yes, you try to get the streaks, you try real hard, you don't get those, but you pull off the clutch, and that might be even better.
Yeah, especially on payload, right? Realistically, your streaks don't have a massive impact. It's nice to kind of force defensive players over towards God heading inside, yes, but really the round went after a shaky map 1. Way more important for LG at this point.
It really just was a good stun coming in the end. I don't know who threw it, but it seemed like one stun connected with pretty much every single player, all 4 of them towards the end. But obviously, it paved the way for LG to find success in sight, though. Still looking for an opening pick. Here with the sniper. He spots out at least one player. Of course, there's maybe 3 nearby. Top heaven. They got the sights around.
Flurry of trades again to start off. This time it's a 2-man advantage. Singularity around now, which you can't really afford to throw away. All comes down to Brack, a 1v4. Gunless clutch one earlier on in the day. Brack not going to give it an attempt this time. Brack off the map. And there's a first round win for Singularity.
Doing the smart thing as well. I think Gunless in that 1v4 situation he had, if they gave him time to jump off the map, he probably would have. And instead, they all just flew at him one by one, and Gunless was like, oh, I could do this. This is like a pub. So, yeah, you know, let the man jump off the map. Try not to throw your life away. Singularity did a very nice job that round. Insight, of course, was able to find a snipe, which wasn't the opening pick, but Tunnel's control was maintained.
Slack carrying Bob for LG as they get back onto the attack. And eye up a quick A push. They catch a couple people off guard here. Side Singularity. Tane trying to put shots down, but again, LG have full control of the A side.
They're at least creeping up on it. There are players right now for Singularity that are watching out or around God's spot, so it's not completely easy to get the bomb down. You're at least slightly worried about getting wall banged, and so LG, well, they're right now just playing passive, waiting for someone from Singularity to make a mistake, but the nade's gonna force John down. Stays alive though, and you can see the cover from his teammates allowing him to push forward, and well, now they do have complete sight.
John needs to be careful though. Luckily for him, this guy's not missing. Not to push even further forward. Formal continues to surge on with John. LG say, no, we don't even need to plant the bomb. We'll just push straight at him.
That's honestly impressive stuff coming out from John and LG. Because, again, they were playing passive, waiting for someone to flank from tunnels, flank all the way around the map, and then the nade forces John to sprint forward into a terrible position, and then he made it work. He had Skies watching over him. And look at how John played this gunfight. Just waiting and forcing to Tane the wide peak, and
smart play.
The teamwork was on point. That's trusting your teammates.
Yeah. I mean, when you have Sky shoot over the top of your head, trust him too, to be completely honest with you. It's like 4 and 2, those still leading the way. Skies and Formal also 4 and 2. 3-1 the advantage for LG. Singularity, their turn to go into the attack. If there's anything you can do, we can do better. They fly over towards A. There's no one there from LG whatsoever.
This is interesting. We've had a couple rounds where it's basically just teams go for the tunnels control. This time it's the B site. LG tries to get the hard counter, and well, the bomb is going to get planted today for free. And you can see it's just a bit of a map spread for Singularity. Mostly turtled up around the A site. They have all their bases covered in first blood by way of bracket.
I think it's a little easier. You find the kill through tunnels, and the trades should be enough. 3v2. Formal, nothing but the RK7 on the outskirts. Skies has been able to push forward. Now it's 1v3. He's not even going to win the first. Kleenex jumps, finds the headshot. Singularity keep it close, 3-2.
That's a nice gunfight with the SOG as well. You didn't used to see a ton of those. SOG gunfight wins coming out like that at least medium range, but we are in the future now. The final patch of Black Ops 4, at least for the sake of the competitive scene.
And for CWL, yeah.
For CWL. Kleenex will take full advantage. Nice little round for Singularity to get. Trying to keep this game close. Of course, now LG back on the attack, had a lot of success over towards both sites at any given time. A little bit more methodical when they went towards A. Now it looks like Brack's going to be the lone man towards A, while the rest of his teams works over towards B.
Curious to see if Brack playing on the island over there might actually open up the site for a rotation, but instead LG want to fly forward towards B. Detain finds the first blood. Now it's just going to be trades left and right. 4 versus 2 in favor of Singularity. They look to tie up this search 3-3. Formal and Skies, 2 players to be wanted last alive for LG. You'd probably pick them in their current form, at least in this game. Still looking for the pick. If you're Singularity here, this is where discipline really comes in favor. Just don't give them anything. Give them no chance whatsoever. Bomb is down by B. You know they have to come to you. They have to try and get the bomb down. Just play numbers, play trades. Formal, last one alive in a 1 versus 3. Fitz has to be careful. He's tagged up. Formal's going to reach out this. You don't want to give him a 1v2 because Formal's have a guy that could definitely try and make some magic happen.
And eventually the pinch is in. A lot of good shoulders thrown. A nice little double challenge coming in from Blue and making sure to swarm. So played very well by Insight. Or excuse me, and by Singularity as a whole, especially Insight, who got that final kill of just nice and methodical. Especially because ultimately that round comes down to just that first blood on John, right? John is trying to cross up in the top catwalk, top heaven, and he doesn't see the players in tunnels. The player in tunnels saw him. So you get the first blood, you convert the round. Singularity, no mistakes. Don't throw anything away. Now we're tied up 3-3.
LG started the search and destroy with a lot of intent. Not as if there was kind of a short-term memory. Forget about map number 1, but despite Singularity being down, they were by no means out. They've tied it up 3-3. First blood carrying round 7 as well. Skies that falls, and Insight's read this push very well. A couple players flanking, and he does have a nade as well at his disposal as he spots 2. Can he scramble away with his life? Yes, he can. Bomb also planted at A once again. And
now he can just adjust to the new spot. He has to make sure he does it quickly because the LG flank is very quick, and he just slides straight into Formal. Formal will take that gunfight every day of the week. Detain, though, keeps the man advantage in their favor, and Kleenex shuts down Brack. Another round. Singularity looking pretty good.
Kleenex is the new man on the block here for Singularity, but he's won a couple of those fights, which are round changers, if you will. He's had some round winners also, but Singularity's 4-3 up in game 2.
As long as Kleenex isn't actually actively using his grassland, he's been pretty good. Outside of the moments where he's trying to make the play with a specialist, like, he's done pretty well. 2 maps in thus far.
You are correct, yes. So let's just hope he doesn't get a grab slammer in game 2 then.
And again, just another round where it's mostly mistake-free, right? I know the player that was the ICR, I think Insight, that was like, he slid into Formal. Right. It's not ideal, you know, maybe still watch the flank, find a new position, but outside of that, I mean, again, very clean round. Get the first blood, make sure you stack up, get some trades, nice map positioning, win the round.
Bids 250 off streaks as well for Singularity. That could be important. Keep your eye number 1 on the mini-map. He's actually just found himself a pick on towards Slack, so 225 off his Kleenex, but there's 50 for Bids. So realistically, if you're LG, do you even want to put the bomb down? Potential for the defuse and streaks. You mentioned, of course, it being payload. It's not massively influential, but this is a 2v4. Brack with multiple of players in front of him. He pops a 3-piece, and this for a 1v1. It's Insight versus Brack, and Insight hit the flank. Brack thought he'd done it, and Insight snatches it away from him. Singularity are about to go 5-3 up against LG in game 2. They won game 1. There's a potential for another massive upset here at COD Champs.
Such a cool round too, because like Brack accidentally gets a 3-piece. He did not even intend to kill that final guy.
Accidentally on purpose.
He was trying to stay alive. Shuts down both of the players that are working towards streaks, right? And then after this is the coolest part. Brack, when he does this, he's thinking, okay, I can't believe I'm in a 1v1. I don't know how this happened, but crap, where's the last guy? Now you're trying to communicate. And then meanwhile, Insight playing it perfectly, by the way, just like, all right, I know where he is. He's going to have to cross. He doesn't know where I am. So it's a huge panic moment for Singularity, but Insight calmed it down.
Yeah.
He calmed it down, up 5-3, and Bids was able to get the lightning.
Ping could be massive. I mentioned using the lightning strike to force players on Godheady to come inside is the play, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Actually calls it in, but unfortunately for Singularity, the gunfight's won by LG. John and Brack both find kills. John gets another 4 versus 2. The round's not over just yet, though.
Well, just
it is
about, though. Slack able to get that kill, and Bids, well, he gets shut down in quick order. That is 2 rounds now where LG has kind of had like an oh crap moment of like John's getting naded out when he's in connector. He's forced in a horrible spot, has to fly forward. This is again the lightning strike. Oh crap, it's getting called in. We have to fly into very difficult gunfights, and LG deals with the chaos and it make it look easy. So I don't know how Singularity allows that to happen for John just to waltz right in, but either way, LG, they'll take it.
They'll take everything at this point. Down 5-4. Once it's specialist, and Bids is probably going to be the closest. Most likely to earn something. Probably need it to go to around 11 though. It's LG back on the attack. Tying up the A site. First blood in this round is absolutely everything. Doesn't look for now like Slack is going to have information. Still Bids. Jinx surveying the A site. Skies isn't going to find him, but gets away with 24 health. A flank from tunnels came through. There's multiple players there. Brack the first line of defense for LG. He gets the call out. He may just try and push through. 6 health. He escapes. Still no first blood.
That is a delicate balance both these teams are playing. You can see Singularity feeling the pressure. They have been backing down, turtling in their spawn, but Keza in the back gets the first blood. But LG, the pressure's on the front end, but 28 seconds, you got to get the bomb down. You got to get a lot of kills. There's the first part, planted at B, but the sun's going to shut Brack down.
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's a 1 versus 4. It's down to Formal. The only thing going for him is he has bomb down. There's the first. Kleenex shuts him down. And Singularity go 2-0 up against LG. Chance, what the hell is happening here at the World Championship?
Singularity playing better Call of Duty, Ben. It's simply all it is. Like, the first hard point, it was, okay, here's a couple mistakes Singularity made. Here's what they should have fixed. And they still won by 60, 70, 80 points, and it could have been better. That search and destroy, you're forcing John into bad spots with the cluster nade, and LG comes out on top. You're forcing them into terrible spots with the lightning strike, and LG comes out on top. You're making these mistakes, and then you're winning the game 6-4. Like, it's a game they should have won 6-3 or 6-2. Clean, confident, making it look easy is definitely not the right word. Definitely not easy, because Brack is almost doing some insane stuff. But yeah, it's an open bracket team taking it to the pros, man.
LG in trouble. In a lot of trouble. Down 2-0 to Singularity. We'll be back after this quick break with Game 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As it stands, LG are 2-0 down against Singularity. If you're just tuning in, yep, that is correct. 2-0 down. Singularity have outclassed LG in Game 1 and Game 2, but we head over towards the frequency control, where early on, LG looking to bounce back.
This is the LG wheelhouse. They are very happy on frequency. Former will give you an example why. He is already a quarter of the way to his War Machine. Pretty nice start. B is going to get captured in a matter of, oh, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds or so. And LG has a very comfortable 7-life lead, Ben.
Yeah.
Different map.
Yes.
They do like them some frequency.
They do indeed. Formal also likes himself some streaks. He's going to get the first tick here. 275 away. The nade's going to do all sorts of damage. There's a double. 25 points, and well, if you remember, Chance, I started this cast by saying, yeah, Formal. Yeah, COD Champs. He's a different beast. He had a good hardpoint performance. So-so in the search. Still played well. But that was a pretty good start.
So just to update, map 4 is Seaside. Map 4 is Seaside, and should we see a map 5, that's going to end up being on Hacienda. Which at the very least, the Hacienda LG will be very happy to play in search. So a couple good maps down the pipeline for LG, which means pressure is not off Singularity at all. A 2-0 lead is great. Winning the series even better.
I mean,
top tier analysis I bring you guys on, Bravo.
Also, you have to start considering things like three-way ties, maps won, maps lost, things along those lines. Like, if you're going to lose, it's better to lose 3-2 than it is 3-0, just in case of those three-way ties. Sounds obvious, but it is something that so often people seem to forget. It's normal. I mean, that commercial break has done him wonders, hasn't it? He's 9. He's 10-0.
Yay! John,
so Seaside.
John also has full streaks, despite he had a 4-0 start.
I mean, it's great.
Brack was 2-0. So Slack, by the way, that first round, actually, I didn't even realize how insane that is. Slack didn't get a kill. Brack had at most 2, and Skies had at most 1. And they destroyed that opening round.
Well, that's not the best use of the streak. John shuts down Brack, but Slack finds himself a double. It's only a 1-life advantage. And, well, despite the dominance of LG, Singularity's done well because they do have progression over towards A. That's the second tick that's come through, and the life count is equal.
I mean, so far as I'm concerned, LG, they can give up the 8 point for free. They have 3 streaks to defend B. In my mind, there's no way they should ever lose this round. Admittedly, Singularity wants to burn as many streaks as possible.
Challenge accepted.
Ben, what do we think of LG? Great on frequency.
There's a throwback. Well, another streak used. Another streak used. Almost going to use a lightning, and Singularity have a 5-life lead. No way, right, Chance? No way?
Man, Bids is 185 off streaks. By the way, most veteran man on this roster did attend champs back in World War II. Had a nice top 32 placement, so he's at least been around the block, and, well, the nade will shut him down and the streaks as well. So a bit of a shining light does get snuffed out. But at the same time, 3-life lead, and you've already dealt with 3 streaks.
If LG lose this round, there's going to be some serious questions asked in between rounds. 14-8 is the life count. Over 60 seconds to go, and a couple of players do fall for LG. It's an opening now for Singularity. They fly over towards B. More kills going their way. John forced to back away. He, of course, does have the lightning strike. Does he want to even bother investing at this point? I mean, you've invested so much. Maybe you don't have a choice, but you're down to your final few respawns, so the answer to that is going to be no. Kills are coming in favor of LG. Formal's found himself 2. Kleenex was able to shut one down before he fell. A chance, in your mind, there was no way they lose this round.
I'm honestly impressed. I'm not impressed with Singularity. I mean, I am, but not for that round. I'm impressed with LG's ability to throw it away. Like, good lord. I don't even understand. Like, you're down by 2 lives. You still have at least 2 streaks at your disposal. When it was like 19-17, after they had already used 2 of it, like, there's no way that should ever happen. Especially when Formal, off the opening break, went and killed like 3 by himself. It's not like they got destroyed off the opening break and were calling in streaks from bad spots. They were calling in streaks from completely normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill. And then they got nothing. So I'm impressed with LG's ability to throw that away.
Control tied 1-1 now. Singularity. We'll head back on over towards the attacking side. In terms of specialist progression, no one from Singularity all that close. Formal already has himself a war machine. Would be a key component to their victory side. He's stepping over towards you, but Singularity just wipe him out completely. Wow.
Yeah, That's just brutal stuff. And of course, all these players running towards A, so you can't even call them the lightning strike to kind of clear them out. You have to run them out of your base and find these players and get rid of them. Of course, LG has started wrap towards B. Kleenex and Insight are there, hanging out, picking up the big kills. Insight able to find 3. Another push from LG. Stuffed, Ben. Absolutely stuffed.
That's another 5 down. The life advantage, 25-19 now for Singularity. Another push towards B. Insight got himself a triple last time LG tried this. He's got a little bit of support this time. He spots out Skies, tags him up, but finally LG break through. And that could just be enough for them to get some serious time into the B zone. Once again, second tick in as well. Formal does fall mid-map. Do you want to contest this if you're Singularity? I think they probably want to. The Tane just evaporates. Slacty wins the second as well. 40 seconds left. The third tick is being decapped. Is anyone going to stay there? They'll send one. But meanwhile, LG, they've flown over towards A. The nade goes out. That sticks Formal. He has to be careful not to just give away his life or run towards his teammates. Bits keeps it contested. There's 3 plays from LG. More team kills. Damage done in terms of life count, 15-10. It's a full team wipe needed for LG to tie it up in lives.
LG, they have to have a perfect hold here, and they're going to have to be very quick to rotate over towards B. They still have a lightning strike if they have the opportunity to break the B point, because it looks like A has been chalked from the side of Singularity, so it's doable. You're down by 5, now make it 6, but you still have the lightning.
The Tech 5 boost was used, and it's not been to any effect. Kez has got himself a double. The life count 14-6. They knew Skies was there. LG down to their final 5 lives. You still have John with the lightning, but now you can't even really invest it in this round. Admittedly, you just need 1 tick. You've done a lot of work. 2 ticks into B. You can cap it quickly in your body stack, and Singularity know it, but it doesn't matter. There's only 2 players from LG up. Skies is one of them. He's got himself a double. Breck's the other. LG in a horrible spot. Singularity will go 2-1 up. Here in Game 3, they are a round away from not just beating LG, but 3-0ing LG.
In matches like this, have dire consequences. If you tilt early, if any of the Pro League teams that have lost, Elevate's lost to Celtic, we had Gen.G that obviously lost early to Fuego. If any of these pro teams lose their first series to one of the AM bracket teams and they tilt, or get like I mean the nerves get kicked up by just completely amplified, exponentially so. It puts so much pressure on you, because if you lose that one series, you lose one of your next 2, and that just might be your year in a box, just like that. Singularity, they are pouring the pressure on.
You still have a lightning strike if you're LG. Their streak usage 2 rounds prior wasn't the best. Singularity have pushed B, maybe trying to bait out that final streak. If they can get rid of it early, they're in a great spot. But the most impressive thing really from what we've seen from Singularity is their ability to just trade out kills. Keep the life count close while putting pressure elsewhere on the map. You'll see, if you look at the minimap now, Insight's at B. He's drawing resources towards him, but A is now wide open. Singularity are going to send 3 players there. That's at least going to be a couple of ticks, and they already have 1 tick in B.
And LG, I mean, how do you want to fight this? It's not like you can really call him the lightning strike. You do have a nade to help you out, Skies with the Tempest. They're gonna have to make sure you shut it down. They get a nice couple of kills, and actually they pull out the War Machine as well. They're pulling out all the stops, or at least quite a few. Trying to set up the spawn kills. They got a 26-18 life lead, pouring the pressure on just to try to force that game 5. A ton of map control in the way of LG right now.
For me, this comes, what can LG save for a round 5? You do not want to use the Vision Pulse, and you do not want to use the Grab Slam. If Singularity can bait one of those out, more than likely the Grab Slam, they're heading into a round 5 with, what, a Tempest, a War Machine. They're probably going to get a Vision Pulse of their own and a Grab Slam as well. In terms of specialists for that, they're way ahead, but hold on a second. Singularity say, we don't even want to go to the round 5. Team kill with the streak. Bids does fall, no Tempest, A's been capped, a minute 47, and LG's massive life advantage is down to 2.
And John just called in the Vision Pulse, but all they're going to see is, okay, we use the Vision Pulse just to get control of the zone. But But now you get a little bit of wiggle room for Singularity, a minute and a half to make something happen. Slack, though, well, he is going to be a problem.
He's LG's only hope. He's LG's only hope at this point because he has the Grav Slam. And he's going to have to use it perfectly.
Well, they still have a 3-life lead. You don't have to hit the panic button for LG yet. And of course, there's only one ticket progression over towards B.
This is what makes it interesting, though. What does Singularity want to invest? Because you, again, could hold it knowing you have an advantage should you go to a round 5. Or you can pull out the War Machine, maybe you get a Vision Pulse in about 40 seconds or so. You have a Grav Slam as well. There's a lot of options, and Singularity are going to have to play this perfectly. The Slam used by Slacked. Uh-oh, he's traded out. Bids is there. Insight's also there. He's 50 off streaks. The second tick coming through. At this point, invest everything. The Lightning Strike has been earned. The Hip Fire. The Grav Slam from Kleenex. The third tick is through. I can't believe it. 2019 COD Champs. It's upset central. A Singularity 3-0 LG. Absolute insane scenes here at the World Championship.
Day one. I can't believe what I've just seen, man. That is insane stuff. They, like, off the opening break, Formal goes on a 10 spree. They get 4 streaks by the time the second round basically starts. LG, I mean, as dominant of a first round as you could possibly ask for, and they got bodied.
The hard point.
Short version of it.
LG start strong. Singularity make a ton of mistakes. They still win. Search and destroy. LG start strong. Singularity make a ton of mistakes. Still win. Game 3. LG start off very, very strong. Singularity still win.
And the calmness. Like, think about the 3-piece brack out on the payload. In my mind, if I'm the one guy watching all 3 of my teammates die, I'm like, crap, this is Brack. He's had a great year. Nerve shake. Insight, chill. Yeah. Cool as a cucumber, just sits there and waits. He's like, Brack will have to cross eventually. Played it incredibly patient, waited 15 seconds. Perfect play. Towards the end, I think it was Bids, I guess it was, or Insight. Someone laying down on the hill with the SOG. I think it was Insight actually.
Insight, yeah.
And again, just patient. Like, he is hip firing, doesn't want to stand up, knows he's got his teammates covering. He doesn't go sprinting out for the kill, doesn't panic calling the Vision Pulse, just very calm, collected. I mean, maybe the comms were panicky as hell, but the gameplay, it was just clean. Smart decisions, nice split pushes they had early on offense to set that up. And, like, think about the Vision Pulse. John's calling in. Singularity's like, all right, you just use that. We'll just give up the map control. We got all the time in the world to break it. Like, everything was used by a panic from the side of LG.
I mean, you talk about panic. A couple of pro teams now are going to be hitting the panic button. And the reason behind that, if maybe you're unsure on how the format works, if you do not finish in the top 2 of your group, you're out.
Done. That's your year.
That's it, which essentially means if you start off 0-2, more than likely, traditionally, you're not making it through. There's some times where, yes, you can get through with 3 1-2 tiebreakers. It is possible, but to reiterate, this is just Group E, F, G, and H we're looking at. There's already been big upsets. Gen G dropped their first series. Elevate dropped their first series. Pro teams are really struggling so far here on day 1. This is our, what, 3rd set of games? So we've had 12 matches so far,
yep. And
we've already had massive upsets. We thought last year was crazy. Yeah, 2018, hold my beer, says 2019. That's, on my mind, I really thought LG was going to come into this series and be like, all right, let me show you why we're going to be contenders for a world championship. Not the case whatsoever.
I mean, the same thing with Gen G. There are teams that we're expecting to potentially win the event that are struggling in the very first round against the lower seeded teams. And again, full credit to Singularity. They look clean through and through. Yes. It wasn't a fluke game. They had a bad opening break on the hard point, found themselves down, bounced back. Bad opening. They were down 3-1 in the search. Yeah. They were down in every single game we had. And super calm. Didn't feel the pressure, apparently, in pulling off the wins. It's great Call of Duty.
Yeah, fantastic game so far here at the 2019 Call of Duty World Championship. That's everything from myself and Chance. We're back after this break with more Call of Duty action.